To politics. Former Vice President of Nigeria, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has met with the former chairman of the National Caretaker Committee of the PDP, Ahmed Mohammed Makarfi, in Kaduna State behind closed doors. Details of the meeting has not been disclosed just yet, but it is however clear that both of them are contesting the presidential ticket of the PDP ahead of the 2019 elections. After the meeting, the former vice president told reporters that the visit is part of his ongoing consultations with PDP presidential aspirants and party leaders on how to come up with the competent candidate that will defeat the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, the APC.
Since 1999, we have the highest inflation. We have multiple exchange rates that discourages foreign investment. We have the highest level of insecurity since 1999. Of course, you all know that we are as disunited, as ever since return of democracy in the country is there. Everybody feels it. People are more hungry than at any other time. People are poorer than at any time. I mean, if we have today the headquarters of poverty in the world, this is unthinkable. A country that is endowed with human and natural resources like this country, but because of lack of leadership, clear-headed leadership and direction, this is where we find ourselves. So, it is obvious that we just have to change the leadership.
Senator Makarfi, on his part, describes himself and the former vice president as two people qualified for the country's #1 seat.
Well, he equally said the same thing to me, so I'm not averse to him. I'm not averse to him becoming our candidate, as he is not averse to me becoming the candidate of the party. It's a family issue. We are talking. We keep on talking.
Well, a day after announcing his defection from the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, a former governor of Kano State, Ibrahim Shekarau, has met his supporters to formally inform them of his decision. Mr. Shekarau declared his much-anticipated defection at the meeting with loyalists held at his Mudumbawa Avenue residence today. He told supporters that his main reason for leaving the PDP is the concession of 51% of the party's leadership structure from state to ward levels to a presidential aspirant who only recently joined the party.
We finally agreed, and this is what we are assembled here to inform our team and supporters, our team and followers, that with effort from this day, in accordance with the decision of the stakeholders that we have consulted, we are abandoning our membership of the People's Democratic Party, and we are declaring into the All Progressive Party.
In the meantime, the president of the Nigerian Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, is asking Nigerians to start preparing to change the political narrative of the country by voting to end inequality, injustice, and marginalization. The Senate president, who is also the presidential aspirant of the platform of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, says that leadership remains a major challenge confronting the country and believes that 2019 is the right time to effect the change. Dr. Saraki was speaking in Umuahia, the Abia State capital, where he's seeking the support of party members and delegates ahead of the PDP presidential primary.
Today, whether Nigeria is never been so divided, that is the truth. There are parts of this country that believe part of this country. We don't feel a sense of belonging. It is time we change our country. It's time we have a Nigerian that represents all of us, and that everybody will be on the table, making more share with equity and justice. That appointments will be made based on federal character and based on all capacity. Countries do not develop and become great by chance. Countries do not develop by trial and error. Countries develop when they have leaders, they have vision, they are focused. They are determined and they know the destiny they are taking all of us to. I believe that is the kind of leadership I know I can bring to this country, to Nigeria.
Also, former CBN Deputy Governor Professor Kingsley Moghalu has emerged as the 2019 presidential candidate of the Young Progressives Party, the YPP. This came after his only rival, Mr. Donald Igwebu, stepped down for him. 200 delegates were credited by the party's electoral committee to choose the presidential candidate between the two aspirants.
We also have the governorship aspirant from Benue State. His name, Architect.
Members of the Young Progressives Party, YPP, from across the states of the Federation are gathered in this hall in Abuja for the purpose of electing the party's presidential candidate. Two aspirants, Mr. Kingsley Moghalu and Mr. Donald Igwebu, are seeking to fly the party's presidential flag in 2019. To commence the process, the national chairman of the YPP highlights the party's ideologies, which candidates representing it in the 2019 elections must imbibe.
The position of the Young Progressive Party is crystal clear that the present structure is not sustainable as a key to running a globally competitive economy rests entirely on restructuring our present social economy and political system to empower competent units to operate maximally. Our party will take a bold step of an all-inclusive engagement with critical stakeholders to immediately see how the exclusive list can be decongested.
Before the delegates are invited to file behind the candidate of their choice, one of the aspirants announces his decision to step down.
Today, I have made an uncommon decision to step down for my senior brother, Professor Kingsley Moghalu, as he officially becomes the presidential flag bearer of the Young Progressive Party, the YPP, during our party's national convention today.
Kingsley Moghalu, 1.
Notwithstanding this announcement, the voting process continues under the watchful eyes of the representatives of the Independent National Electoral Commission. The consensus presidential candidate is thankful to the party leadership and delegates for his emergence, but expresses concern over the delay in the signing of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill.
My number one concern is that President Muhammadu Buhari has failed to approve, as required by law, the amended electoral bill. This is a matter of grave concern, and it should leave us raising questions about whether or not President Muhammadu Buhari is actually interested in democracy. He's actually interested in free and fair elections in this country. Do they have plans that we do not know?
YPP is one of the over 40 newly registered political parties in Nigeria that are expected to participate in the general election in 2019.
Well, ahead of the 2019 general elections, the Adamawa State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, has assured aspirants for various elective positions of transparent, free and fair conduct of its primaries. The assurance was offered by the state chairman of the party, Shehu Tahir, while addressing delegates at the party's state secretariat in Yola, the Adamawa State capital. Meanwhile, the state chapter of the All Progressives Congress has also commenced the sale of expression of interest forms to aspirants for the party's 2019 primaries in the state.
Hundreds of PDP members converge on the party secretariat in Yola, Adamawa State, for the meeting of aspirants and stakeholders as the party prepares for its forthcoming primaries. The party's leadership highlights the mistakes that led to the PDP losing Adamawa State in the last election, saying it's a costly error that will not be repeated.
Today's PDP is a PDP that can give each and every aspirant free, fair, and transparent playing level ground. And I can assure our delegates that the era era of impunity is gone.
Some of the stakeholders at the event, including a former acting governor of the state, also seized the moment to share their ambitions, citing what they describe as poor governance, especially in the last 3 years.
We are strongly convinced that crippling foresight, vision, mission, and right educational background with experience in governance will generate the required synergy to the upliftment of our people and their socio-economic status.
And while the PDP aspirants verbally express their interest, their counterparts in the APC have the opportunity to match words with action by purchasing expression of interest forms.
We assure to every aspirant that APC as a party in Adamawa State, we did it before, I'm going to do it again. We are going to make sure we did free, fair, and credible primary election in the state. That's why we opened the sale of the form to the public, to everybody that wanted to buy for any office. So the form is here available for the office of the House of Assembly.
Thank you for the members of this committee for trying as much as possible to be transparent, for trying as much as possible to be objective. Nobody is being denied. You just go and do your own and bring your receipt. Any aspirant that wants to, please go and do it.
For now, politicians and aspirants in each political party have their own to contend with as they jostle for the flags and tickets. For those who emerge, it's the 2019 elections that will determine who clinches the ultimate prize.
The All Progressives Congress in Ogun State is making big preparations for the 2019 general elections as the party announces the running mate of Ogun West's consensus governorship candidate. Today, the consensus governorship candidate, Adekunle Akinlade, has been endorsed by all 3 senatorial districts, with the serving commissioner for agriculture, Mrs. Adepeju Adebanjo, as his running mate. Mr. Akinlade promised to remain loyal to the party and bring more development to every part of the state if elected as governor.
Thank you. Mine is just to say thank you. I don't think there's much I can say at this point in time to just say thank you and to assure us that this responsibility, this opportunity you've given me will not be taken for granted by God's grace. I just want to say thank you. It's been a long time coming. I know that there's still so much ahead for us as a party, as a state. There's so much that has happened in the last 7.5 years. It's important, very, very important, that we sustain the development that we see across our state, that we continue to promote the mission to rebuild in Ogun State, and we all put our hands on deck, show genuine commitment to make sure that every elective election, every elective post in the forthcoming general elections, a great party, APC.
The state governor, Ibukunle Amosu, on his part, says that Ogun State will maintain the good standard it is known for, particularly in the area of infrastructure development and politics.
You know, Ogun State were always there. We were the first to have access to Western education. Indeed, when we have this particular song, and they will say that, you know the way it is in Yoruba, they will say that is where politics starts from.
By extension, Ogun State is where politics starts from. And by extension, we all know, if you talk about politics in the context of Southwest, there's one name that resonates, and that is Baba Obafemi Awolowo, of blessed memory, from Ogun State. So clearly, whatever we are doing in Ogun State, we have something that we call Ogun Standard. And that is what we are striving hard to adhere to. So even raise that bar that those our leaders, our elders, our rivers state men and women, what they left behind for us. And that is why for us in Ogun State, we are always mindful of our actions.